make the background a little more dynamic. So let's start with this tree in the middle. So I'm going to select it, and we're going to use a modifier on the grease pencil object to make it move slightly as if there's a breeze floating across the African savanna, and it moves the foliage ever so slightly. So to do that, we select the tree and we add a noise modifier. Let's test that out. Whoa, uh, it's it's too much. So let's tone it down a little bit. 0.2. Still a lot. So let's go underneath tens. 0.2. Okay, that looks better, but I don't like the trunk swaying along with the foliage. So to fix that, we have to create a vertex group that contains only the strokes for the foliage. So we go back to tree 2 and we go to the grease pencil properties object and we choose vertex groups and we add a new one. I'm going to call it foliage. Then get into edit mode for the tree. I'm going to choose box select and select the strokes that make up the foliage. So I got one. Yeah, I think that's about right. So 3 clumps of leaves. So and then I hit enter to say yes, that's my selection. And then I have to click assign over here, which says that all these strokes of the grease pencil object, they should be assigned to the foliage vertex group. So I click on assign. And to check if it worked, I can select and it shows me which strokes belong to the foliage group and it looks correct. So let's see how that looks now. So I'm going to animus run. Whoa, it's still moving the trunk, and that's because we've only created the vertex group. We haven't told the noise modifier that we want to restrict it to that vertex group. So we go to influence, and under vertex group we choose foliage. And then the noise modifier is told that it should not act on the whole object, but it should restrict itself to the foliage vertex group, which contains these 3 clumps of strokes. So now it should work. Yep, so now the trunks are static and it's only the leaves that move. And another thing that is distracting is the thickness of the lines. So we could have moved this tree farther back away from the viewer to make the system thin down the lines by the nature of perspective. But there is a more easier way without having to play with the location, and that's by using the thickness modifier. And right now let's try 0.5. Yeah, that looks thin. I think I could go a little thinner. So maybe 0.25. Maybe too much. 0.4. Yep. So that looks better. And within the noise section, I think the noise scale is useful to bring it a little more dynamicity. Yeah, so this is looking much better already.